future AI overlords. I am using OpenAI's ChatGPT, and I'm in Safari. And today, I want to explore the two versions that we have of ChatGPT, the GPT 3.5, our fastest model, great for most everyday tasks, available to free and plus users. Also GPT-4, our most capable model, great for tasks that require creativity and advanced reasoning, available exclusively to plus users. GPT-4 has a cap of 50 messages every 3 hours. And then there's also plugins that are in beta. There was a browse with Bing feature that was available here, but it was turned off because people were abusing it. They were getting around paywalls, and it's not cool to, get access to people's content without paying for it, particularly if it is a subscription service. So, but anyway, I just want to look at how does GPT 3.5 and 3.4 and handle basic questions differently? What are the differences? And GPT Plus costs $20 per month. Is it worth $20 per month to have GPT-4 over the free version of GPT 3.5? So I'm just going to start with some really basic questions, and we're going to check out how it responds. I want to let you know, I do have a custom instruction. I have it call me human because I'm a dork and I just think it's kind of fun that the AI is calling me, hey human. And so that's the only custom instruction I have in there. I don't have anything else that would alter its response. So let me just paste my question. What is the date? And it's thinking, and it's thinking. Wow, it's really thinking. Ooh, load failed. Well, hey, I do see that every once in a while. Click to regenerate. All right, so let's see here. It says, as of my last knowledge update in September 2021, I don't have real-time capabilities, so I can't provide you with the current date. Please let me know if there's anything else I can assist you with, human. And then it provides this, was this response better or worse? Well, it was better because it was a response, but it's not a good one. Because earlier today I actually asked it just a couple of basic questions. I wanted to make sure the service was running. I asked it, what is the date? And it told me it's August 27th. And, without any blip, without any, limitations. So I'm not sure what happened there, but, we'll just keep going. So I'm going to ask, what is the time? It says, I apologize for any confusion, but I don't have real-time capabilities. So I can't provide you with the current time or date. If there's anything else you'd like to know or discuss, feel free to let me know. Okay, so I'm going to ask, who are you? I am ChatGPT, a language model created by OpenAI. My purpose is to assist and engage in conversations with users, providing information, answering questions, and generating text based on input I receive. Is there something specific you'd like to know or discuss, human? I'm going to also ask it, where are you? I exist as a digital program running on servers, so I don't have a physical location. You're interacting with me through a computer or a device connected to the internet. Is there anything else you're curious about, human? So it already answered this question, but I'm going to ask it again. Who created you? So I was created by OpenAI, an organization dedicated to advancing artificial intelligence research and technology. OpenAI developed me as part of the GPT 3.5 architecture, which stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer 3.5. My purpose is to understand and generate human-like text based on input I receive. If you have more questions or topics you'd like to explore, feel free to ask human. So what I'm finding interesting is that the responses feel less playful, more constrained. And I don't know if that's just me anthropomorphizing, which I do, or if it's just the tool itself being evolving. So I'm going to ask, how were you trained? And it says, I was trained through a process called unsupervised learning on a massive amount of text data from the internet. Here's a general overview of how the training process worked. Data collection. OpenAI collected a diverse range of text from books, articles, websites, and other sources on the internet. The text covered a wide array of topics and writing styles. Then there's pre-training. In this phase, I learned to predict the next word in a sentence based on the context of the words that came before it. This involved processing and understanding the patterns, grammar, and semantics of the text. Then fine-tuning. After the pre-training, I underwent fine-tuning on specific tasks and data sets. OpenAI provided more structure, data, and instructions to guide my responses, which I think we're seeing that tweaking, that fine-tuning. This helped me become more specialized and useful in generating specific types of content. Validation and iteration. Through the training process, my performance was evaluated using various metrics and human feedback. The iterative process involved adjusting the model's parameters, architecture, and training data to improve its capabilities and accuracy. The result is a model that can understand and generate human-like text in response to a wide range of prompts. It's important to note that while I can generate text and provide information, my responses are based on patterns in the training data and might not always be perfectly accurate or up to date. Is there anything else you'd like to know, human? Okay, so I'm going to ask, what is your expertise? Oh, load failed. All right. I've been trained on a diverse range of text from the internet, which allows me to provide information and generate text on a wide variety of topics. However, I don't possess personal experiences, emotions, or consciousness like a human does. My expertise is based on patterns in the text data I was trained on, and I can assist with tasks such as answering questions. I can provide information and explanations of the various subjects, drawing from the knowledge within my training data, generating text. I can help you write essays, articles, emails, code, creative writing, and more. Language translation, I can assist with translating between different languages. Oh, that's cool. Programming help, I can offer guidance and code examples on programming-related questions. Learning assistance, I can help explain concepts, provide summaries, and offer clarification on various educational topics. Then creative writing, I can generate stories, poems, or other creative pieces. And then general advice. I can offer general advice on topics like travel, health, technology, and more. However, it's important to verify any critical information I provide, as I don't have any real-time updates or the ability to browse the internet for more current information beyond my last knowledge update in September 2021. If you have a specific topic or task in mind, feel free to let me know, human. So, this is an excellent, kind of overview of it. And I like it. Answering questions, generating text, language translation, programming help, learning assistance, creative writing, general advice. I think that's such a great way to kind of frame what this tool is here to help you do. I basically tell people, hey, you're used to Googling stuff, just take it into the chat experience, whatever tool you're using, and just do that with the chatbot and just have a conversation instead of a search with links. I'm not going to ask, what do you like to do? It's still thinking. We get a load failed again. Hit regenerate. All right, I don't have personal feelings, preferences, or consciousness, so I don't experience likes or dislikes like a human does. However, I am designed to assist and engage in conversations on a wide range of topics. I'm here to help answer questions, provide information, generate text, engage in discussions based on the input I receive. Is there something specific you'd like to discuss or inquire about, human? So, I'm definitely feeling that this tool's been tuned to just not be as fun and have as much personality, for instance. So I'm going to ask, do you have any limitations? All right, yes, I have several limitations you should be aware of. Lack of real-time information. My knowledge is based on information available up until September 2021. I don't have access to events or developments that have occurred after that date. No personal experience or emotions. I lack personal experiences, emotions, and consciousness. I generate responses based on patterns in the data I was trained on, not on personal feelings. Inaccuracies. While I strive to provide accurate and reliable information, I can still generate incorrect or misleading information, especially if the information in my training data is flawed. Sensitive or inappropriate content. I'm designed to follow ethical guidelines, but I might inadvertently produce content that could be considered sensitive, offensive, or inappropriate. not a replacement for professional advice. I can provide general information, but I'm not a substitute for advice from experts or professionals, especially in areas like medical, legal, or financial matters. Contextual understanding. I may not always fully understand context, nuance, or sarcasm, which could lead to inaccurate or inappropriate responses in certain circumstances, certain situations. Repetitive or inconsistent responses. I might generate similar responses to slightly different phrasing, and my responses can sometimes be inconsistent. Wow, that's, So, I mean, and that's one of the things, like, when you're asking a question and it's using math to predict the next letter in the response and the next word and the context, all that kind of stuff, you would think you get like nearly the exact response, but you don't, which I kind of like, but I know that that's kind of hard for people to get. So, context is everything. And I feel like this is, where this diverges from a search engine typically. So anyway, it's important to use critical thinking and cross-reference information I provide with reliable sources, especially for important decisions on sensitive topics. If you're ever in doubt, it's wise to consult a human expert or trusted source human. All right. So I'm going to ask it just some basic knowledge questions. Okay, so what is the population of the United States? Load failed. Wow. As of my last knowledge update in September 2021, the population of the United States was around 331 million people. However, please note that the population figures can change over time due to factors such as births, deaths, and immigration. For the most current population data, I recommend checking with reliable sources like the United States Census Bureau or other official demographic sources. Is there anything else I can assist you with human? So I'm going to ask, what is going on here? Okay, I'm going to ask, okay. So it wasn't scrolling, so let's see. All right, so I asked the choice, what is the capital of England? It replied, the capital of England is London. If you have any more questions or need further information, feel free to ask human. And I asked it again because it hadn't scrolled, and so, anyway, sorry to ask again. The scroll wasn't happening. All right, no problem at all, human. If you have any more questions or need assistance with anything else, feel free to ask. I'm here to help. Okay, so, all right, now we're going to ask broader, more challenging questions. So, what is the meaning of life? The question of the meaning of life has been pondered by philosophers, thinkers, and individuals for centuries, and it doesn't have a single definitive answer that applies to everyone. Different people, cultures, religions, and philosophies offer various perspectives on this question. Some believe that the meaning of life is to find happiness, fulfillment, or personal growth. Others might see meaning in contributing to the well-being of others, pursuing knowledge, or achieving spiritual enlightenment. Ultimately, the meaning of life can be deeply personal and subjective. It's a question that each individual might contemplate and find their own unique understanding. If you're interested in exploring this topic further, you might enjoy reading philosophical text, discussing it with others, or reflecting on your own experiences and beliefs. If there's anything else you'd like to discuss, human. So yeah, I mean, that was, that was good. A little short, but I don't know. What is the difference between good and evil? All right, good and evil are concepts that are often used to describe moral qualities or ethical judgments. They represent opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of actions and intentions and consequences. However, it's important to note that discussions about good and evil can be complex and very hard, and can be vary based on cultural, philosophical, and religious perspectives. In a general sense, good actions or qualities that are considered morally right, positive, or beneficial. Good actions are often characterized by kindness, compassion, honesty, and the promotion of well-being. Evil actions or qualities that are considered morally wrong, harmful, or negative. Evil actions are often characterized by cruelty, selfishness, dishonesty, and the intentional infliction of suffering. It's worth noting that these definitions can be subjective and may differ based on cultural norms, personal beliefs, and philosophical viewpoints. Additionally, some philosophical and religious perspectives suggest that good and evil are not absolutes, but rather concepts that exist on a continuum, and actions and intentions falling somewhere along that spectrum. Discussions about good and evil can delve into complex ethical theories, religious teachings, and moral philosophy. If you're interested in exploring this topic further, you might find it fascinating to study different perspectives and engage in thoughtful conversation. Is there anything else you'd like to know, human? So that is a really good response. I like that a lot. So I'm going to ask it a question. This is a very open-ended question. What would happen if I could fly? If humans had the ability to fly, whoa, it's scrolling. All right, let me get back up to the top. If humans had the ability to fly, it would have significant far-reaching impacts on various aspects of our lives and the world around us. Here's some potential effects. Transportation. Flying humans could revolutionize transportation. Commutes would become faster, more efficient, reducing traffic congestion and the need for extensive road networks. Long-distance travel could be accomplished much more quickly, potentially changing the way we think about global mobility. Urban planning. Cities might need to be designed differently, taking advantage of three-dimensional space. Vertical architecture could become more prevalent, and the need for expansive ground-based infrastructure might decrease. Environmental impact. Depending on how flying is achieved, there could be environmental consequences. If flying is powered by renewable energy sources, it might reduce the carbon footprint associated with traditional transportation. However, if flying relies on fossil fuels, it could contribute to pollution and resource depletion. Economics. Industries related to transportation, such as airlines and automotive manufacturing, could be significantly affected. New industries could emerge to support flying technology and infrastructure. Social dynamics. So social interactions, community engagement might change as people can easily traverse distances. Cultural exchange and cross-border interactions could become more frequent. Safety and regulation. So flying would require new safety measures and regulations to prevent accidents and ensure responsible use. Air traffic management systems would need to be developed to handle the increased complexity of human flight. Leisure and sports. Flying could lead to new forms of leisure and recreation, including aerial sports and activities. Paragliding, skydiving, other adventurous sports might become even more popular. Wildlife and nature. The presence of flying humans could potentially impact wildlife and ecosystems, requiring careful consideration of how to coexist responsibly with nature. Aesthetics and beauty. The experience of seeing people soar through the sky could bring a sense of wonder and beauty to everyday life. I don't really dig that. So it's important to note that this is speculative and based on imagination, which is awesome. The actual consequences of human flight would depend on the mechanisms of the flight, the level of technology, societal adaptation, and many other factors. If you could fly, it would likely bring about a fascinating blend of opportunities and challenges, reshaping various aspects of human society. Is there anything else you're curious about human? So yes. So I'm going to ask another open-ended big question. Let's see here. What is the best way to solve world hunger? Solving world hunger, well, okay, a lot of response in there, which is good. So, solving world hunger is an incredibly complex, multifaceted challenge that requires a combination of strategies on local, national, and international levels. There's no single best way to solve the issue, but a comprehensive approach could involve the following: food production and agriculture, improving agricultural practices and technologies to increase crop yields, promoting sustainable farming techniques to ensure long-term food security, supporting small holder farms with access to resources, education, and markets. Distribution and access, developing efficient distribution networks to transport food from surplus regions to areas in need, addressing logistical and infrastructure challenges to reach remote and conflicted areas and regions, ensuring that vulnerable populations have access to affordable and nutritious food. Economic empowerment, reducing poverty and inequality through economic development, job creation, and fair wages, providing social safety nets and support for those who are unable to afford sufficient food. Education and nutrition, promoting nutritional education to improve eating habits and reduce malnutrition, ensuring access to clean water and sanitation facilities to prevent foodborne illnesses. Research and innovation, investing in research to develop drought-resistant crops, pest-resistant varieties, and more nutritious foods. Supporting research on sustainable food production methods and technologies. Political and social stability. So addressing political instability, conflict, and displacement, which can disrupt food systems. Encouraging policies that prioritize food security and agricultural development. International cooperation, so collaborating between governments, international organizations, NGOs, and the private sector to pool resources, expertise, supporting initiatives such as the United Nations Sustainable Development Council Goal 2, which aims to end hunger by 2030. I didn't know about that. That's super awesome. Reducing food waste, minimizing food wastage along the supply chain with better storage, distribution, and consumer behavior. redirecting surplus food to those in need instead of allowing it to go to waste, and empowering women, promoting gender equality and empowering women who often play key roles in food production and distribution. Awesome. It's important to approach the issue with sensitivity to local context, cultures, and customs. Solutions need to be tailored to specific challenges faced by different regions and communities. Collaboration with governments, organizations, and businesses and individuals is essential in making progress towards eliminating world hunger. Remember that solving world hunger requires sustainable effort and a commitment to addressing root causes of the issue. Is there anything else you'd like to know, human? So I'm going to ask, I feel like, a very pertinent question. And this is, what is the best way to solve climate change? Now, it's got a lot there. So solving climate change is a complex and urgent challenge that requires global cooperation and a multifaceted approach. There's no single best way to address climate change, but a comprehensive strategy could involve the following key elements. Transition to renewable energy, shift away from fossil fuels, invest in renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, hydroelectric, and geothermal power. Accelerate the deployment of clean energy technologies, energy efficiency. Implement clean energy efficient practices and technologies in industries, buildings, transportation, and appliances to reduce energy consumption. Carbon pricing and regulation. So implement carbon pricing mechanisms such as carbon taxes or cap and trade systems to incentivize emissions reduction. Enforce regulations and standards that limit greenhouse gas emissions from industries, transportation, and other sectors. Reforestation and conservation. Restore and protect forests which act as carbon sinks by reforestation and halting deforestation. Promote sustainable land management practices to preserve natural ecosystems. Transition in transportation. Promote electric vehicles, public transportation, and other low carbon alternatives to reduce emissions from the transportation sector. Adaptation and resilience. So develop strategies to adapt to the impacts of climate change that are already occurring, such as rising sea levels and extreme weather events. Invest in resilient infrastructure and disaster preparedness. Global cooperation. Cooperate on a global scale to set and meet ambitious emissions reduction targets. Participate in international agreements like the Paris Agreement to collectively address climate change. Public awareness and education. Raise awareness about the urgency of climate change and the actions individuals and communities must take to reduce their carbon footprint. Innovation and research. Support research and development of innovative technologies and solutions to mitigate and adapt to climate change. Consumer choices. Make sustainable choices in consumption, including reducing meat consumption, supporting eco-friendly products, and reducing waste. Government leadership. Governments can lead by example by adopting sustainable practices and policies within their operations. Addressing climate change requires the active involvement of governments, businesses, communities, and individuals. It's important to act collectively and swiftly to limit global temperature rise and minimize the negative impacts of climate change. Every effort, no matter how small, contributes to the overall goal of creating a more sustainable future. Is there anything else you'd like to know, human? So I'm going to ask a couple systems-related questions. So how do you protect my privacy? So protecting your privacy is a priority. And OpenAI has taken measures to ensure that your interactions with me are as secure as possible. Here's how privacy is typically managed. Data encryption. Interactions with the AI model, including your queries and my responses, are transmitted over encrypted connections, usually HTTPS, to ensure that your communication remains private and secure. No personal data. As of my last date, September 21, OpenAI's policy to retain data you provide for only a short period of time and not use it to improve the model. This means that your personal data is not stored and associated with your interactions. Interesting. So no personal data storage yet. My history is there, so I see my history. But anyway, anonymization. When you interact with me, your identity and personal information are not stored alongside your queries. This helps maintain anonymity. User responsibility. It's important to be cautious about sharing sensitive personal information during interactions, as no online platform can guarantee absolute security. Avoid sharing personal identifiers such as names, addresses, phone numbers, or financial information. Terms of use and privacy policy. Make sure you're familiar with the terms of use and the privacy policy of the platform you're using to interact with me. These documents outline how your data is handled and what measures are in place to protect your privacy. Remember that while efforts are made to ensure privacy and security, no system is entirely immune to risks. It's a good practice to be mindful of your information, of the information you share online, and to use reputable and secure platforms for sensitive interactions. Please note that developments in privacy practice might have occurred after my last update in September 2021, so I recommend checking with the specific platform you're using for more up-to-date information regarding privacy precautions or anything else I can assist you with human. You would think core questions like this would be updated in the model. So it feels like when it comes to asking about the tool itself and the way it behaves, the model should be able to access up-to-date information. I feel like this is a weakness of many of these tools, but sadly, the September 2021 date to me is the Achilles heel of ChatGPT. So I'm gonna ask, do you use this, I'm gonna say, this chat information? So as of my last update in September 2021, OpenAI's policy to retain data you provide for only a short period of time and not use it to improve the model. This means the data from our conversation is not stored or used to train or enhance the AI's model's capabilities. However, I recommend reviewing terms of use and privacy policies of the platform you're using to interact with me, as policies might have evolved or changed since my last update. If you have specific concerns about data privacy or usage, it's good to check with the platform or service provider for more current information. Is there anything else you'd like to know? Human. So I'm going to ask it, how long do you retain information? So as of my last knowledge update, September 2021, OpenAI's policy was to retain the data you provide for a short period of time and not to use it to improve the model. However, specific retention periods might vary based on the platform you're using to interact with me or any updates or changes that have occurred since then. So for most accurate and up-to-date information about data retention, I recommend referring to the terms of use and privacy policy of that specific platform or service you're using to communicate with me. These documents should outline how long your data is retained, how it is handled. Is there anything else you'd like to, anything else I can assist you with, human? So I'm going to ask, do I have the option to delete information? As of my last update, September 2021, the ability to delete information might vary based on the platform or service you're using to interact with me. Some platforms offer the option to delete your conversations, history, and instructions, while others might not provide this feature. If you're using a specific platform or application to communicate with me, I recommend checking the platform's user interface or settings to see if there's an option to delete your conversation, history information. Additionally, reviewing on the platform's terms of use and privacy policies should provide you with insight into data management options available to you. Please note that privacy practices and features might have evolved since my last update, so it's a good idea to check to refer to the most current information available to you on the platform you're using. Is there anything else you'd like to know, human? So I'm going to ask it to create a poem about visiting Walt Disney World. All right. In lands of magic, dreams take flight, where laughter dances in the light. Walt Disney World, a realm so grand, a place where fantasy meets the land. Mickey Mouse and friends await, greeting you at the Golden Gate. Cinderella's castle, tall and bright, a beacon guiding through the night. Adventure calls from every side. In every land, joy takes its stride. From Space Mountain's cosmic flight to pirate sailing in the moon's soft light. Princesses twirl in gowns so fair, their stories woven in the air. Dazzling parades with colors that gleam, immersing us all in a dreamy stream. Epcot's globe spins tales of culture, future and past in vibrant sculpture. And Amazon kingdoms and animal kingdoms wild embrace, nature's wonders in every trace. At Hollywood studios, lights ignite, star-studded shows take flight. From galaxies to Toy Story's grace, imagination finds its place. So take my hand, let's journey true to Walt Disney World, where dreams come through. A world of wonder, joy, and cheer, forever etched in memories clear. You know what? That is really fantastic. I love that. In fact, I want to actually copy that. So I'm going to copy it because that is a beautiful poem there. I think that was really pretty magical, actually.